So, hello, fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And there's not that much democracy in many democracies. And there's certainly a lot of censored speech rather than free speech. And I'll get into that in a moment. Of course, as usual, I am Earthling, yada yada yada. Computer science degree, MBA. I got a scholarship a long time ago to help with that. I have traveled to a number of places: Grand Canyon, Czech Republic, Caracas, Venezuela. I take care of my uncle who has dementia, and I'm an ex-army reservist. So that's it for me. Now, when we compare those of us who live in democracies, when we compare our shining democracies to autocracies, or places like Cuba or China or wherever else, a lot of us, we get up on our high horse and we're like, yeah, our place is a lot better than all these other places. We have freedom of speech. Nobody's going to come knocking on our door and take us away because we said blah da da. And we can choose our leaders. We get to vote and see who we want to be in charge of us every however many years. And the thing about it is that we get to vote. And don't get me wrong, I don't know anything else. I don't know any other way of living. But I just wanted to I'm not actually poking holes in anything. Maybe I'm shining a light on what is real. How much democracy is in our democracies? I mean, I know for me, every electoral term, when it's time for a new vote, sometimes you go vote, sometimes you don't, right? So a lot of the times I've gone and voted because it's a good thing. And then sometimes I might be like, I don't know about this particular guy in this particular area where I live. But aside from that, aside from every, 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 6 years, when you go and you stand up in line for a long period of time and you vote, aside from that, how much democracy is there in our democracies? And you may say, well, that's all we need. We just need to make politicians uncertain. They don't know for a fact that they're going to get back there, so they can't do whatever they want. Well, number one, because they kind of do whatever they want anyway, even if they know whether they're going to get reelected or not. They're like, I just got elected. I have a 4-year term. I have a 5-year term. If I'm a newbie and I don't know how this game is played, well, okay, maybe I'll be true for the first year or something like that. But very, very, very quickly, you realize that, as in the US, people will tell you almost 90% of your time is fundraising. So you are fundraising, getting money, not from mom and pops, not from the people who voted. You're getting money from people who have a lot of money. And what are they buying? Because they're buying something. They're buying your time, they're buying your concern, they're buying your attention. Because if you don't provide them with some utility, then why would they give you more money the next time? So you have the vote, all of us have votes, and they have the money, or the people with a lot of money, they actually have the ear of the politicians, because your votes can be bought with advertising. With the right kind of advertising in the right places, your votes can be manipulated. So if using money, you can sway what people think about different issues and who they're going to vote for, why bother with hundreds of thousands of individual votes when you can go to one donor or one person who has access to many donors and can convince many people to come over to your side with just one or two conversations rather than hundreds of thousands or millions of, conversations per se. Well, you are having those millions of conversations. You record something and you play it over and over and over because you talk to one person, and there's that. From another point of view, in your personal daily life, how much democracy do you encounter in your everyday life? If you're a child, do you have a choice about whether to go to school or where you're going to live or the clothes that you wear or the people who are in your family? Or did I mention the school you're going to go to? Or if you're going to go to school? Do you have choice in that? Is there democracy in that? So for the first 18 years of your life, I'm sure some families are very open, and in some families, yeah, you get a vote with everything. Your vote matters as much as your mom and dad. Does it? Probably not. Does your vote matter as much as your siblings who are older than you? Maybe not. So you grow up in an undemocratic system where, it's not as bad as it used to be with respect to children are seen and not heard. But that's how you grow up for the first 18 years of your life. Then you're an adult. And let me tell you, I love being an adult. I love being able to do any cockamamie thing that, it's legal and I don't have to be too worried about it, or it's safe. Any cockamamie thing that my parents or my folks would not have wanted me to do, like eating cake for breakfast, like I saw my mother doing this morning. You can do it, and it's fantastic. And yeah, but at your job now, because you've graduated from school, right? And at school, did you have many votes as to how things went down at school? Really? Did anybody ask your opinion about that? About the choices? Maybe class president, right? Because class president is important. But let's go on to your job. At your job, does your employer... I don't work for a specific person. I take care of my uncle, but I kind of do what I want in that respect. And I had to fight. My mom is in charge of funds and so on. And there are ways and things that she would have wanted me to do. And I'm like, that's not happening because that's not right. That's not the best thing for my uncle. And I had to fight for that. There was no vote. But at your job, does anybody care what your opinion is about different things? Probably not. About the time that you have to work, no. You have the choice where in most instances, if you don't like it, then you can quit. But most people don't really have that option. Your system of government in your country, does anybody check with you to see how that's going? Even representative government, you vote for that one person who you have become intimately knowledgeable of. I'm being sarcastic because you don't know anything about that person except what you see on TV in different interviews. Now you've put that person there, and whether they're Democrat or Republican or conservative or liberal or whatever, you hope that moniker means that they're going to do the things that you want. But once they're in power, is there any more voting for anything else that they're going to do? No, it's representative government. They're your representative. They get to push what they feel like pushing, even if most people are against it. Most people in the US, for example, might be okay with marijuana now. I don't see any federal push to decriminalize marijuana. There's a lot of things that everybody in America wants, and it's not happening. Like, what was it? Medicare for all. Is that what? Yeah. The number of people who support that is like 70 something percent, certain polls show. Is it happening? No, because the pharmaceutical companies don't want it. And their money matters more than your opinion or your vote or anything like that. And I kind of left out free speech, so let me just run through it. So you have free speech. We have free speech in like the UK, in America, in France. We can say what we want to say. Really? As a child, what can you say to your parents without drastic repercussions? Are you really free in your relationship? Can you say whatever you want? You absolutely can. It might cause the end of your relationship, but you can say whatever you want, right? So you don't, because you want to stay in a relationship, so you self-censor yourself all the time. Just in life, amongst your friends, if you are, let's say, God forbid, pedophilia, pedophile, are you gonna tell people about that? I bet, there's freedom of speech. You're not gonna tell people that you're a pedophile, and nobody's saying that you're acting on it, but it's something that's part of you, probably. You're not going out saying, let me try pedophilia, any more than you're saying, let me try, being anything else. It's part of you, but it is not acceptable for you to admit that you are a pedophile. People might try to kill you. Even if that's just the way that you were born, nobody wants to hear that. If you like underage girls, because that's better than pedophilia, many people look a lot older than they are. And let's be real, if Mary from the Bible was married to Joseph, she probably didn't wait till she was 18. So this kind of thing has been happening forever. Let's say, for example, in Japan, there were relationships between young boys and older men, and it was normal. In Greece, there were relationships with young men and older men and young boys, and it was okay. In this day and age, you can't say that. Let's put anything aside with respect to just about either of those sexual things. If you have liberal thoughts amongst your conservative friends, are you free? Do you feel free to speak about that? Probably not. If you have doubts in your church, do you feel free to talk about that? Probably not. If you have any ideas or thoughts that go against the grain, you self-censor every day, just like gay people would, just like anybody does anywhere. This whole idea of freedom of speech and da-da-da, has anybody ever mentioned, I really felt like killing people. I was about to kill this person and I changed my mind. I'm sure many, many people out there probably feel like that. Or I was going to hang myself or whatever. We self-censor all the time. In a place like China, what happens is you have one more thing to self-censor about, and that's the government. And for us who are, we are in the habit of, the government, blah, 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 to go to a place like that and have to shut up about that, it's like, oh my God, I'm denying who I really am and da-da-da. But life is overwhelmingly, no matter where you are, undemocratic. And freedom of speech. Every single day of our life, with every thought that we come up with, we self-censor. Am I saying that I'd like to live in a society like China? No, because I'm already indoctrinated to live in this one. And I don't need to deal with any more problems in life per se. But what I am saying is we have this sense of, everything is great. Well, not everything is great. Some people might admit, yes, there are a lot of problems in democracies, but that doesn't mean that, we're on the same level as those people over there. No, I mean, we're still a mark above the rest. Are we? Are we really a mark above these other people? I don't think so. Anyway, that's it for me. Feel free to like, comment, dislike, subscribe, share, any of those YouTube feedback actions. Of course, if you'd like to, you can keep in mind what kind of feedback would you like if this were your YouTube content. Have a good one. Peace.